All right, so this is going to be a quick guide on the tools that you're going to need to get started day trading. This is going to cover just the basic foundational tools that all day traders use every single day in order to put on trades in the market. It's not going to cover how to trade yet. Well, the next video will cover sort of the basics on how to put on a trade, how to exit a trade, when to get in, when to get out, and that kind of thing. So this is going to be, again, just the basic tools that you're going to need to get started learning how to day trade. A couple of things that we're going to cover is the charting services that you're going to need in order to look at price charts to analyze. The second one isn't as important right now, but it is something that you need to understand and know and have, is a news source for relevant economic data. We'll talk more about that probably in the next video. Third, you need a trading platform. A couple ways to do it. You can trade your own money with different exchanges like TD Ameritrade. There's a bunch of them. Or you can use a prop firm. I'm a funded prop firm trader with Top Step. So we're going to be talking more so about prop firm and trading in futures. We'll get into that. And then thirdly, you do need an instrument or market to trade. And these different exchanges or prop firms will offer that to you. But you do need to decide what you're going to trade. And we'll talk a little bit about that as well. So we'll get started with the charting software that you're going to need in order to look at price charts and start learning how to read these things. Let's take a look at something called TradingView. All right, so TradingView.com. You'll end up getting on here, and this is a subscription service. There is a free one if you want to get started with the free one. That's probably the best place to get started. The step up above from there is just going to give you a few more options, but you can get started on the basic one. And the basic one just doesn't allow you some of the features. For example, well, you know what? Doesn't even matter. We'll get into the different features of these, but you can get on here, set up an account, and get started on the basic package, which should be free. At least it was before when I started. I think it is here. It doesn't show it here, but here the basic one is the very first level, and then you can get up into some more meatier packages eventually. I'm only one step above. I don't use the the really crazy packages. I just use this one, which is $12.95 a month, and that gives me everything I need. So you can get on here, set up an account, and let's just go over what it's going to look like. So this is where you're going to find the different markets to trade. Now with a lot of prop firms, they're trading futures, which is what I trade. So the way you would set that up is if you go here to the top right hand corner, you can set up different watch lists. So if you hit the little plus button here, you can end up finding different markets to trade. Let me hit the. Let me add a section. So, for example, if you have one of these lists right here, watch lists, you can add a section. I have one for futures here. You can set up a stocks list. Let me go to I think I have a demo. There we go, futures demo. So once you set up a section, you can name it, futures or whatever. And here you're going to start plugging away. So to add to this list, you're going to put the add button. And let's just add something here. Let's do, there you go. It'll appear, so everything you select will appear on here. And these are the different markets that we're going to be looking at. I'm just going to quickly talk about the most popular markets. The one that I'm trading a lot right now is NQ, which is the NASDAQ. So this is the NASDAQ, which is a basket of all the biggest tech stocks in the U.S. The ES is the futures of the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is the biggest 500 companies in the U.S. And not just tech stocks, but just various sectors. It is a lot of tech in here, but these are the main markets that traders are using. And then I do trade crude oil as well. So let's take a look at just, I don't know, let's take a look at crude oil. This is what the charts are going to look like, and again, we'll talk more about how to decipher these and make decisions on when and where to enter a trade. There's going to be some features that you're going to want on here. So up on here you have indicators, and we'll go through on the next video what indicators I use in order to decide when and where to enter a trade. For now, for this video, all you need to know is that you need to go to TradingView, sign up, get the basic account, and see if you can figure how to make these a list and get some of these futures markets in your little sidebar here. Again, if you just hit the add button here, you can select if you type in NQ or ESCL, that's going to be your NASDAQ, S&P 500 futures, crude oil. We can just start there, and then, like I said, we'll get into more on how to look at these markets and how to read them. Let's go to the next item. So this is going to be a new source for relevant economic data. I use something called Financial Juice. All right, so this is Financial Juice. This is a free. You do have to set up an account, but it's free. We'll talk more about this at a different point, maybe in the next video. But this is important to understand that you don't need to know what all this shit means. What you do need to know is that if you're going to get started day trading, you just need to understand that there's economic data releases that happen that move markets. You need to understand when those releases are happening. So you need a service like Financial Juice. There's also, you can also just Google important economic events today. Usually Market Watch will show up right here. And this will give you a calendar of really important economic events that are happening. So for example, today is the 28th at 6 a.m. Richmond Fed President Tom Barkin was speaking in Paris. When the Feds speak, when these people speak, they can move the markets depending on what they say. The only way I use that is I don't want to be in a trade at 6 a.m. Because if they say some crazy shit, they can move the markets in a really violent way, and you don't want to be caught blindsided. Same thing here, 8:30. A lot of economic releases happen at 8:30 in the morning, just like they did this morning. And again, you don't have to understand this other than the only thing you have to know is that at 8:30, I probably shouldn't be inside of a trade. Okay, these economic data releases, they're like freight trains. They can cause violent swings in the markets, and so just suffice it to know that you need to understand what's being released at what time, on what day. So often before I day trade, before I'm in the markets, I'm here looking at what's happening in the day, what's getting released, and I just use that information to know that the market's probably going to get extremely volatile and I need to get out of the way until after the release happens. And then you can watch how the market digests the information, and then you can play the reaction to the data. Okay, you don't need to understand the data. All you need to see is how the market understands the data and how the market is reacting to the data, and then play that. So don't let this intimidate you. You don't have to understand. That'll come later. But I use this and Financial Juice to understand it. So it's good even when you're learning how to trade. Understand what's happening, when it's coming out, what's being released, and then watch the markets and see how these things move the markets. It's really exciting to watch. Sometimes you get some really, really violent price action. But like I said, if you're not aware of these things when you're learning, you can get caught blindsided. And literally, if you're inside of a trade, even with the smallest position size, like one futures contract in a trade, and one of these things hits the market, you can literally lose thousands of dollars in seconds. So really important to be aware of. Financial Juice, Market Watch, you should have those on your favorites tab. Okay, the second or the third thing on the list is going to be a trading platform. I'm a funded trader with a prop firm called TopStep. That's what I recommend using. When you do start to, if you decide to get into day trading, there are options. You can trade your own money on exchanges like, for example, TD Ameritrade. I think they actually got bought out by Charles Schwab. But there's a bunch of different exchanges that you can use to trade your own money. You set up much like a bank account. You set up an account with them, and they give you access to the markets. You can put on trades. You can trade stocks. You can trade options. You can trade futures. It's a little bit of a process to go through the application process with them, but anybody can do it. This is probably the worst idea. You don't want to trade your own money. This is a hard lesson that I learned, and that so many traders learn, is that it's a really bad way to get started day trading your own money on an exchange. Really bad idea. There is a learning curve that will have to take place. It takes time to get used to the markets and get used to putting on trades, taking off trades. You don't do it right at first. At first, you do it wrong for a long time. It could take several months, and some people it takes longer than that. If they're doing it on their own, they don't have someone over their shoulder sort of teaching them. It could take some people years to do it on their own. But it doesn't happen overnight. There's a learning curve, and if you're trading your own money, that can be an extremely expensive education as you learn how to do this. The best and safest way to learn is using a prop firm. So this is one of the best things best things that have happened. That has happened for day traders in order, in terms of making it really, really easy for people to learn how to enter the markets and learn how to make money in the markets. They basically have stripped out the risk, while still making it so that you have to put some skin. I had to put some skin in the game, meaning it's not completely free. But it is a small fraction of what you would be losing if you were trading your own money. So you do need an exchange. What I recommend is that you use a prop firm like TopStep. I chose TopStep because it's the least expensive and most trader friendly prop firm out there. You can trade with these guys every single day. They're live. They have TopStep TV. You can watch these guys, like the CEO, all the guys on here, all the traders on here. A lot of their best traders. You can watch them trade. They have coaches and education on their Discord. You can watch some of these guys trade and see how they do it. It's extreme. There's a ton of resources and education that you have access to when you use these prop firms. So I recommend TopStep. I think it's the best option. There are other prop firms that you can look into, and that's definitely something that you can do down the line. But understand that you're going to need some sort of a prop firm to get into. You need an exchange where you can actually have access to the markets. And let's take a look at TopStep X, which is TopStep's trading platform. So once you get signed up with them, so like I said, it's not free, which is actually a good thing. The reason why it's a good thing, just to get into this real quick, that this is not free, is that while you're practicing and learning, it's really important that you feel like there's something to lose. You can use TradingView, for example, to put on paper trades, they call them. Just put on sort of fake trades. So for example, if I go here to TradingView and I open up, let's open up, let's see what copper is doing. This is a copper futures. And let's make a really good trade because I can go back and see what happened. Let's do a replay right here. I'm actually not sure that you can do this on the basic account. Not sure about that. So I put it on replay, and it put me back into sort of this period in time, which is the 20th, 11 o'clock. You can run a replay of the previous historical price action. So we can run this and watch it go, and I can see this buy and sell buttons here. I can put on trades. So I'm going to sell that. And look, I'm up 300, 600, 300, 500, 700. And this is obviously on fast forward. This is not how fast the market's moving in real time. But we're up $1,000. We're up $1,700. I'm going to flatten that and get me out. So I made $1,600 on that move. But here's my point. Because that didn't cost me anything, I'm not really learning. Oh, there you go. Congratulations. I got confetti too and everything. I'm not really learning how to trade properly. This is because there's no risk in it. I can put on these crazy, ridiculous trades. Like I just pressed the sell button there. But I mean, if I go back, I can put on these massive positions. I can just say, I'm gonna go from like here. I don't know. I'm gonna go from here, and then I'm gonna put 100 lots on this thing, and I'm gonna sell it there and play it. So look at that. I'm up $80,000, $100,000. I mean, this is a massive, ridiculous. I mean, you probably have to be like a multi-millionaire to put on a position like this. But look at that. I'm losing $200,000. Wow, look at that. I'm losing. I lost $300,000 on that trade. And so my whole entire point is that since I have no skin in the game, who cares? It doesn't matter. And that's the absolute worst way to learn. To learn while you have no skin in the game, all it does is enforce really, really bad habits that you wouldn't do. You'd make decisions and put on trades that you wouldn't normally, put on. You make decisions that you wouldn't normally make because there's nothing in it. There's no risk to you, so who cares? On the contrary, if you have skin in the game and you do have some money on the line, you're paying for the challenge account, for example, on Top Step, like you're paying for in the smallest account that you can get is $50,000 account. That means that so the fee on this, the subscription is $50 a month, $49 a month. If you hit the profit target, you see here profit target for 3,000. If you hit that, then you pass the evaluation, and then they provide you with a $50,000 account that you can earn money on. Doesn't mean you can keep $50,000. It gives you $50,000 worth of buying power so that you can get into the markets and trade. If you were to do this with your own money, you'd have to have, tens of thousands of dollars in your account in order to trade futures. There's something that the exchanges require called margin. You can't just put $100 in your account and start trading futures. You need the barrier to entry is actually pretty high. You need a lot of money in your account in order to do what Top Step will allow you to do for $50 a month. So we'll get more into Top Step in the prop firm, but the main point here is it's important that you're putting some skin in the game, because when you're trading, you need to feel like there's something to lose. So this is a feature that makes the learning more real. The feature is the fact that you have to pay a little bit of money in order to learn how to trade. So think about this as an investment. This is the tuition that you pay. And this is the least amount that you can pay, by the way. If you fail this account, so the maximum loss limit you see here is $2,000. Um, say you didn't pay attention to economic data release, the calendar, and you put on a trade in your evaluation account, in your combine, as TopStep calls it, and in 2 seconds you'll lose $2,000 because you didn't know that an economic data release was happening, and you decided to put on a trade at 8:29 in the morning, and all of a sudden a massive spike happens, and you're down $2,000 instantly. That means that you lose the evaluation. What you have to do there is you can pay another $50 to reset your account so that you can continue with your evaluation, or you can wait until your 30-day cycle restarts. It'll bill you again for $50 in 30 days. This is a 30-day subscription or a monthly subscription. So if you fail, you can just wait to be rebilled. It'll reset your account, and then you can start again. If you don't want to wait, you can pay $50 to reset the account when you fail it. I did this a lot when I first started because I wasn't used to trading futures. I used to trade options. And so it can get expensive. I don't recommend you reset your account. I recommend trying your evaluation, and then if you fail it, just wait till your rebuild date. If you have the patience to wait until your rebuild. It'll reset your account, and then you have another. You're trying basically once a month. That's a slower process, and if you wanted to spend on a reset or 2 resets, then that's your prerogative. But that's how TopStep works. You can get the bigger accounts. It's good probably to start with a smaller account. It is tough in that you don't have a very long leash. The $2,000 is pretty easy to lose. On the bigger accounts, it gives you a little bit more room. $3,000 with the 100K account, and then $4,500 with the 150K. So this is something that you'll have to decide. But that's how TopStep works and how their subscription account works. And so there are other options. Like I said, this I think is probably the best and cheapest option that you can find. Once you have access to TopStep, then you can choose to get into, choose your combine, choose the challenge account that you're going to get. And then you're going to use your trading. Once you're actually trading, let's see if we can get into TopStep X. So this is what it looks like. And so basically what I'll end up having is I'll have trading view on one screen. I have 3 screens. You don't need 3 screens, but I have trading view. You can see it on your phone too. I have trading view on one screen, and then I have this on another screen. This is where I execute all my trades. So let's go to we'll actually talk about more about that later. But this is how you get TopStep. When you sign up with TopStep and you pay for that combine account, the initial evaluation account, they give you access to TopStep X. This is what it looks like, and this is where you're going to be putting trades on and trying to pass those initial evaluations. Once you pass the evaluation, they award you an XFA account, which is an express funded account. Even though that's in a simulated environment with the XFA accounts, this is where you can actually earn real money. So all the trades that you've seen this week on the Discord that I've posted have been on my XFA accounts, which is real money trades that I can withdraw into my bank account. So TopStep, by the way to go. Once you have trading view down, you have a news source down, the next step would be, if you wanted to continue, is to get with TopStep and make an account with them. Select a combine account that you wanted, and that would enable you to start the learning process and start putting on trades. The last thing I had on there is probably the one of the things that we already talked about, so we won't talk about it too much, but you need to decide what you're going to be trading. So with TopStep, once you're in TopStep, then these are all the markets that you have available to you. I mean, you can trade gold, you can trade commodities, you can trade. These are all futures, by the way, all futures contracts. We'll talk more about what a future is and why it's a contract. And all you need to know is that you can buy and sell these things in order to earn a profit. You can make money on the way up. You can make money on the way down. And all these markets behave differently. So it's nice to just watch these markets and see how they behave. They all have their own sort of personality. Once you look at them and watch them for a while, you'll see how they behave. And you'll see that later on the next video, we'll talk about the different patterns that end up showing up that enable you to enter and exit trades based on these patterns and based on the indicators, though. We'll talk more about what this is, what these different lines are. We'll get into that next time. That covers everything. There's all the basics that you're going to need to get started. Let me just say that the very last thing is, all this looks a lot more exotic and difficult than it is. What you're seeing here is the easiest part of trading. You know, the charts and the analysis. I can teach you everything you need to know probably in less than a week. Putting on trades and exiting trades, all of this that you're seeing that looks really exotic and complicated is the easiest part about trading. The most difficult part about trading is learning how to control your impulses and keeping your head together and keeping your head level. So I posted in Discord I was in a pretty bad trade earlier. I was down $1,000. I sort of it was a bad trade in that it was a bigger drawdown than I wanted. I ended up turning into a $1,500 trade in my favor, and I netted $573. Bad trade. We'll talk about that trade maybe later. But my point here is that it's pretty difficult. It takes some practice to not lose your focus and your composure when you're down money or when you think something is going to happen and it goes the other way. You know, maintaining your composure and controlling your impulses and controlling your frustration and anger when things don't go your way, that is the most difficult part about trading. So that's a psychological part of trading that we'll get into later. For now, that's it. That's all the stuff that you're going to need to start trading. You need TradingView. You need to get used to looking at these news sources. You need Financial Juice or Market Watch in order to see when economic data releases are coming out. You need a trading platform. You can trade your own money if you want to lose it all and lose your own money. I recommend using a prop firm. I'm a funded trader with Top Step, and that's what I recommend. Get on there, sign up for an account. Yes, it's a little bit of money, but if you see what here, let's take a look at the Tycoon Traders Discord. So it's a little bit of money a month. But if you get this, if you learn how to do this, and make the investment and take the time to learn, literally with day trading, it's limitless, the amount of money that you can earn. So these are a few trades earlier in the week, $1,500. This was a pretty amazing day, morning that this was about an hour's worth of time here. Lost 83, lost 119, gained 365, gained over 2,000, gained almost 800, 950, there's $84 there. It's a little bit of an investment, but the trade-off, it just completely outweighs the money that you'll spend on the evaluation accounts, on the combine accounts, or on the resets. The value it far outweighs the investment, in my opinion. It's a little bit, but like I said, in my opinion, it's completely worth it. So that's it. That's how you get started day trading. Those are the different websites that you'll need. Next video, we'll talk about, once you have all that in place, we'll talk about how you get into trades, get out of trades. We'll talk about some basic patterns and some basic indicators that I use in order to day trade.